because Japan, just very recently, has so devalued the yen, brilliant, smart, these are smart people, that it made it impossible for me to buy Caterpillar tractors. I owe it to my family, I owe it to my employees, I owe it to myself. I have to do what's right for my company. So it made it impossible. So he ordered Komatsu instead of Caterpillar. This is happening all over the place. Today, in the Wall Street Journal, big story, Ford going to build tremendous plants all over the place overseas. Ford, by the way, speaking of Mexico, again, I respect them. I wish we had smart people. Ford is building a $2.5 billion plant. Who ever heard of this? $1 billion plant, $2.5 billion in Mexico. Now, here's the story. Now think of it. So I'm saying to myself, that's not good. And in addition to that, in Tennessee, a big plant, $1.2 billion, was going to be built in Tennessee, Wall Street Journal. And all of a sudden, the last moment, they decide to go to Mexico. It's going to be built now in Mexico by a big German car company. And Tennessee is great. And the people were great. They all thought they had it. And at the last moment, it goes to Mexico. So I said to myself, wow, $2.5 billion. And they're going to make cars and trucks and parts. And they're going to send them into the United States. No tax, no nothing. Now, I told you, I went to the Wharton School of Finance. I'm like a really smart person. My uncle was a perfect, Dr. John Trump was at MIT, one of the smartest people, great engineer, great, like, you know, smart, right? For many years he was at MIT. And I'm saying to myself, where does this help us for Ford to build a plant in Mexico and then sell without tax? No tax. All it means is one thing, that we don't build a plant in the United States, whether it's in Phoenix or anywhere, because it's being built in Mexico. You're right. That one I like. So I said to myself, okay, Jeb Bush is president, and he knows it's the wrong thing. Right now we have Obama. He won't call. He doesn't even call to get our hostages back from Iran. Here we are in the middle of a deal, and he doesn't call about that. One sentence, I'd say, you got to, before we start, get those people back. Used to be 3, now it's 4. Get those people. They'd be back the next hour. You need the right messenger. The Iran deal is a disaster. The Iran deal is a disaster. They're begging. Our chief negotiator at 73 is in a bicycle race. He falls and breaks his leg. This is the mentality we have. So I said, what would Jeb Bush do to get... Benghazi. You're right, Benghazi, another Benghazi. You hear our politicians, John McCain, 2 days, oh, Benghazi, you don't hear about it anymore. Hillary Clinton with the emails, oh, the emails, 2 days. I'm more disappointed in the Republicans in many ways. They talk and talk and talk. So, Jeb Bush, let's say he's president. Ay, ay, ay. So let's say Jeb Bush is president. He knows it's no good to have a $2.5 billion plant built right near our country. Well, how does it help us, right? So here's what happens. He knows it's no good. He'll have a little pressure. Don't let the plant be built. And he might even say, don't let the plant be built. Might even call the head of Ford. The plant's not going to be built. And then the next day, he'll be called by special interests that supported him, his lobbyists who push him around like a piece of candy, or his donors who have stock in Ford. And they'll say, you can't do that. I helped you. You can't hurt them. You just can't do it. He folds in about 2 seconds. So let me say Trump is president. Okay? Let me say Trump. So I don't need anybody's money. Actually, people are setting up PACs all over the place. I don't care. If they want to give it to me, I'll take it, okay? But I don't need money. I don't want money. So I'm doing my own. You'll see that on Thursday or whatever the hell day I file. You'll see I did really well. Much better than anyone ever thought. Just the opposite. So here's the story. So Trump is president. So I'll get a call from the head of Ford. And I'll say, you got to build in the United States, sorry. They'll say, but Mr. President, really, we don't want to. I say, here's the story. Number one, congratulations on your new plant in Mexico. And number two, we're going to charge you 35% for every car, truck, and part you send over. And here's what would happen. Here's what would happen. Now, this isn't like 99% sure. This is 100%. In fact, you know the negotiators, the killers that I told you about, these bad people? I wouldn't even bother calling them because this is too easy. I can just do this, like, you know, with a couple of phone calls. So here's what would happen with Trump. I will get some calls. He will say, Mr. President, this is terrible. Please, please. Sorry, can't do anything. Sorry, I don't care. I want you to build here. I want jobs in the United States. So, listen, so they would go and they'd call up the lobbyists. I'd say, fellas, hey, I hire lobbyists. I have lobbyists all over the place. They're great. If I want something, go do this. I know the system better than anybody. I'm a donor. Somebody said, oh, you gave to the Democrats. Of course I give to everybody. I want to get everything done. Everybody loves me. Everybody loves me. I give to everybody. Now, in a lot of ways, that's very bad because you know what? That's bad for the country. You know, it's bad, but that's the way it works. But I give to everybody. They all love me. They don't love me so much anymore, by the way, I have to tell you. But here's what happens. So he'll call. I say he folds sometime prior to 5 o'clock in the evening. But he could be tough, and he may last till 12 o'clock the following day. And he'll say, please, and 5 guys will call me that are friends of mine and, you know, who I couldn't care less. I'll say, no, you don't understand. I want that plant built in the United States. I want jobs in the United States. I want to bring our industry back. Now, this is just one of many deals. And here's what happens. I will get a call probably the first day, but maybe the second day, because they're tough negotiators. And I'll say, Mr. President, would you reconsider? I'd say, no. He'd say, Mr. President, we've decided to build a plant in Phoenix. Okay? So simple. It's so simple. It's so simple. We have totally incompetent people. Now, some people say they're bad people. I don't think they're that smart to be bad people. I just think, honestly, I mean, a lot of people get angry when I say, I don't think they're bad. I think they're stupid. I think they're incompetent. So we've got to take our country back. We've got to get rid of Obamacare. We've got to repeal it and replace it with something good. And we have to take care. You know, I know this doesn't sound very conservative. We got to take care of everybody, not just the people up here. We got to take care of everybody. Okay, get used to it, conservatives. I love you, conservatives. Get used to it. Let's take care of everybody, please. And by the way, Obamacare doesn't. And if you look at the premiums are going through the roof. The deductibles, frankly, you have to get hit with a Komatsu tractor in order to use them. They're so high. We can do it. You get rid of